Alrighty, so welcome back to part three of what if the rookie 12 made their own village. Um, it's been around about a week, no, a month, my bad, since I've last recorded this. What if? It's been a hot second. I know. Um, that's totally my fault. Well, not really, actually. Uh, but before I get into this, what if? My Discord server got. I forgot to say this in the last video, but my Discord server got um revamped, I guess you could say. So if you guys want to come hang out, if you don't want to come hang out, I don't care. Just, if you want to join. I don't really care. I'm not forcing anybody to join the server. Um, but yeah, with all that said and done, let's just get right into the what if. So last time we left off was basically the third Hokage, or Naruto going through the Forest of Death, or the Chunin trials, and the Hokage telling them that they have a mission, or they have like a mission, I guess you could say, to build a village outside of this village. And the Hokage would also tell them that there are three people who are going to be leading this mission, kind of, and that would be Naruto, Shikamaru, and I guess you could say, well, for now, yeah, for now it's Naruto and Shikamaru, I do believe. Later on, they can choose more people to become, heads, or if they deem fit, if they're deemed fit. Um, and yeah, and so with after they said that, they would be moving out after a week of packing and everything else. Um, they would of course arrive at the land, and immediately, Choji would start complaining of how there's nothing to fucking eat, as he's like, no barbecue, no meat, no chips, no no vegetable. Actually, I don't know if he would like vegetables. No, no, nothing. There's nothing he wants to eat. So he's like, hey yo, I might have to quit right here, right now. I ain't doing this bullshit, dog. And Naruto would instruct everybody to, I guess, first, as like the first order of business, he would tell Choji, uh, fucking Shino, because he has the bugs, he can look far ahead, and Neji, and maybe like another person, to go scout out for food, like anything that is not poisonous, basically. Shino is great for this because his bugs can basically eat it, see if it's poisonous or not. That's why, he sent Shino. Choji, because, well, he's like the person who eats the most, so he probably knows what's good to eat. And Neji to just be there for backup, some kind of beast, or, so if they encounter like a group of bandits or something like that. Shikamaru would order the girls, which would be all the girls like Sakura, Ino, Hinata, uh, Tenten. Uh, I don't really know. I forgot everybody else. To go ahead and start planning, make more food, as the Hokage did give them enough food to last them for about a month, but this is of course rationed. This is of course has to be rationed out to. This is good for like a month. Like they can eat good for a month, but if they don't find any food, it has to be rationed. So immediately off the bat, they're gonna try making this food last almost 2 to 3 months, because they don't know what the fuck is ahead. Um, the rest of the people, who would be Naruto, Shikamaru, uh, everybody else who's on, like the boys' team, Kiba, Sasuke, fuck, I'm forgetting these names. One sec. Actually, that looks like it's all of them. That's basically everybody who's really left. Rock Lee is also there. Um, and yeah, I mean that's all the Konoha 11 consists of, or the Rookie 12, as people like to say it. Um, so yeah, of course, uh, I forgot to mention this. Kiba would also be sent to gather food because his dog is, or since he's a part of the um like the fucking dog clan. I don't fucking remember the name. They can sniff food, and he has really good senses to, track, for example, animals down to kill and eat later. Everybody else, as I said, would start working on food. I mean, working on building stuff like houses, shelter, walls, anything of the sorts that would help them. Um, for example, uh, you know, they really wouldn't know, really they wouldn't really know how to build shit. I mean, maybe I don't know. Fuck. They wouldn't really know how to build shit. Like, of course, Shikamaru would probably do a little bit of research beforehand, and so would Naruto. As I said in the last two parts, Naruto would be way, way fucking smarter in this. What if? Um, well, smarter to the point he's not fucking brain dead, like he is in most, like he is in canon, because nobody likes a brain dead fucking character. Sasuke, right? Sasuke would also be helping there. He would mostly complain about how he has to do shit, and how he has to extract his revenge, and he doesn't have time for this shit. And Naruto would just shut him the fuck up and be like, you know what, you can leave right now if you don't like it. I don't really care. Shikamaru would, of course, be right next to, like, or take Naruto's side and just be like, hey yo, again, the Hokage told you, if you want to leave, you can leave. Like, you're just gonna have to wait 4 years for your Chunin exams, and it's not our fault. So if you want to leave, you can go right ahead. We're not stopping you. Um, Another thing is, you might not even be accepted into the village at this point. If you like leave right now, um, that means you basically failed, and nobody likes a failure, and especially a prodigy who was the last remaining, uh, you know, member of the Uchiha clan. He's like, how do you think that would make everybody else look at the Uchiha clan? You think they would look at you with pity just because you lost your whole, all your members, or do you think they would look at you with disgust, thinking that you're a failure of an Uchiha? Sasuke would just shut up at that point, knowing that what Shikamaru and Naruto just said was straight facts, and he didn't want to go against them. Really, and yeah. We would now do basically like a time skip of 2 months, as during these 2 to 3 months they would really get settled in. The only new, the only thing that would change or happen during these 2 months is I would say that Shina would be kind of considered as a leader, or one of the people who are the heads, yeah, the leaders of this quote unquote mission for now. Um, because not only does he have his bugs, he's very smart, and he's a very good strategist, just like Naruto and Shikamaru. Um, and during this time, the joining instructors would keep an eye out on what would be these 12 people, or 11. Yeah, no, it'd be 12 because Sasuke's here. Um, and report in to the Hokage, who would be very impressed with their progress. And at this point, knowing that they can't really progress, he would come up with a plan to not only help the uh, the Konoha 11 out, but it would also make them progress farther. Um, it's like killing two birds with one stone. Basically, he would set out to what would be this village, which they haven't named just yet. Well, it's not really a village, as it's still only inhabited by 11 people. Sorry about the background noise, if you guys can fucking hear that. Fucking sirens. um, but yeah, so it would only be inhabited by what would be 11 people as of now. As the third Hokage was, arrives at the village, he wouldn't exactly show himself. He would, camp out for around of a day or two to just see how they're working together, and see how Naruto and Shikamaru and Shino are handling things, if they're doing, if they're being like good leaders, or listening to people, or if they're just straight out fucking declining every request of declining every request anybody's making. Um, Basically at this point in time, uh, the 2 days would leave, and the 2 days would go like being, how do I say this? The 2 days would pass by as the Hokage would finally show himself, and you know they would all kind of feel this presence of the Hokage, as the Hokage has a shit ton of chakra, and not only that, he is a prodigy, and you could feel like a different presence in their own village after they've been living there for 3 weeks, or a good 2 to 3 months, I should say. Um, so as the Hokage comes in, Naruto, Shikamaru, and everybody else there would greet the Hokage, and lead him into what would be like a little shack they've made, which is not that bad looking actually. If I could, I might put a picture up of how it might look. It's it's like a normal house, like they would see in a normal, you would see in like the Leaf Village. It's just made with different materials. The Hokage would sit down, and Naruto, Shikamaru, and Shino would also sit down, as the rest of the members would sit outside, as they know it's none of their business. The Hokage would firstly congratulate them, uh, saying they did a great job. He'd also tell them that, Naruto, my boy, I think it's time for you guys to start training, not only in just physical combat or jutsus, but, well, I think you guys need some kind of instructors. I don't really care who you would like it, who you can, I don't really care who you ask for. I will get, bring them here for you to train with. He's like, and Chikamaru would think about this as this is a great opportunity for not only them to improve their skills, but for future on, like for example, training other people when this becomes like an actual village. This is gonna be like great for training other people, like for the military, or you know, uh, for example, Anbu. Um, Both Naruto and Shikamaru would immediately agree, and Gino wouldn't really say anything. He would just nod his head. Um, Naruto says, "Well, since you gave us the offer, as our first joining instructor, I would really like Kakashi Sensei to help us train." Is like, and the third Hokage explains basically like the rules and how this is really gonna happen. It's like, okay, so the first order of business, you said you wanted Kakashi, is that correct? Basically how this is gonna go down, Naruto, my boy, is gonna every month there's gonna be a new person. For example, if Kakashi comes in this month, the next month, for example, Guy might come along, or uh, freaking Kurenai might come along, or maybe Asuna, whoever you like. Um, Naruto nods, as he was expecting this, as like a cycle. So, after like 12 months, the same person's gonna come again, and they're already gonna be able to hone their skills with everything they've learned from, like for example, Kakashi, or Might Guy, who would teach everybody taijutsu. Um, and so yeah, Kakashi would teach them about like jutsus and other things. So the third Hokage would leave, and the next day Kakashi would come in and announce that, firstly, he's going to be teaching everybody about chakra walking, which will running up freaking trees, which they Naruto and Sakura and Sasuke have already learned, but everybody else hasn't. So Kakashi would basically make a clone to teach everybody else who has learned tree walking, which would be like for example Shikamaru, who I feel like would already know this, Neji, because they have the Byakugan, making them control their chakra a little better than most people, and for example, I don't know, like I think that's about it. Lee Kuno, Lee, of course, can't really do this as he has no chakra at all. So Kakashi would be teaching uh, freaking Lee something different. Um, so during this 1 month period, Naruto would learn water walking. Everybody else would be learn tree walking, which would basically make everybody else's chakra control way better. I mean, way better. Like Choji's chakra control, Shino. Actually, Shino would already know how to do the tree walk, so he would also learn how to do water walking. And so, people who learned water walking, their chakra control is really fucking good. Like, I mean, they're like not even close to Tsunadi's level, but they're close. Like, I could say like half of what Tsunade can do. Not fully, because to be a medical ninjutsu or a medical ninja, um, you need a lot of chakra control. Last time I checked. Um, anyways, the next month, I would say my guy comes along, and he would teach everybody. And during this time, of course, they're gonna build stuff. They're gonna switch between like training and building and resting. That's basically how their day goes. And pretty soon, or like in the first month, they already catch like enough food for like a good 3-4 months. They like made like beef jerky. They've let it stay out for it to dry. They've made a lot of food for them to stay alive. And if they couldn't, the third Hokage would of course supply them with food. But they don't want to look weak in front of the third Hokage. Um. Anyways, my guy would come along the next week. I mean the next month, and he would teach them about taijutsu, like maybe like the Leaf Hurricane, which basically I'm gonna say everybody learned. Leaf Hurricane is a very powerful move, but I would feel like I think everybody would be able to learn this. Um, and the next time he comes over, they would then he would also start teaching about the gates. Some of them would already be able to unlock it. Um, Lee has already unlocked 3 of the gates, I do believe. Naruto, Shikamaru, Kiba. I'm gonna say Hinata and Shino would be able to unlock the first gate. They of course can't use it, but they know how to unlock it. They can't, really release their full potential of the first gate. This means that those are the most one of the they are the third they are the 3 most powerful people in this village, or kind of like town, I would say. And at this point, I would say people were starting to move in. The third Hokage would um direct people to like move into this village, and a lot of people would start moving in. People would like this place. There might be a couple of spies here and there from who, Donzo himself, because he's trying to fuck everybody up, because that's what Donzo does. Um, anyways, uh, and the final month before something big happens, Jiraiya would come along. At this point, Naruto hasn't learned his summoning jutsu. As I mentioned in the second part, that's how he beat Gaara, with a rank jutsu. So Jiraiya would come along, and this time around, since he's a Sannin, he's gonna be here for 2 months instead of 1 month, because Sannins are more powerful than Jonins, and that's proven so many times in the series. Jiraiya would come in, and Naruto's super happy about basically Jiraiya coming, because not only will he be able to teach him about his summoning jutsu, which he has learned that Jiraiya has, um, Naruto will become, you know, Naruto can also learn, I guess you could say seals, because he's an Uzumaki. Almost in every what if I do with like Naruto, I usually give him seals because I think seals are pretty overpowered. Like Uzumaki seals, because these seals are not to be fucked with. So anyways, he would come in and he would firstly teach everybody about um basically like summoning. Like in the beginning, he's gonna like get everybody hyped up. But all right, these are summonings. Summon you. I will give you a blank summoning because I feel like you have the potential to be able to summon something out of this world. Some of you can get to choose your own summoning if you would like to. Um, so yeah, and that's how it would go. But that would come a little later, maybe like in the second month. In the first month, he would teach Naruto. Who else would be good with seals? Let's see. I'm gonna say Naruto because he's an Uzumaki. Uh, Sakura. Um, let's say Choji as well, and Shino. He's gonna teach them about seals, which basically will make like which basically helps them with the walls or protection. Like they're gonna learn how to do like put a seal on a wall, and for example, it would have an a affinity to water. So if somebody uses water jutsus against that wall, it won't really be as hurt. And so what they would do is they would make a wall. They would put all five chakra natures, like all five chakra nature seals on there. So the only way to like actually not like stay there for like the only way to break this wall would either be using taijutsu or using a jutsu that is higher than an S rank jutsu, or an S rank jutsu or an A rank jutsu, which not a lot of people will know about. Not a lot of people know what an A rank jutsu is or know how to use it. And so everybody would learn how to do seals. And now comes the summonings. Jiraiya would hand out basically he would basically give out like scrolls, and he would state what scrolls these are. He would be like, all right, this is a toad summoning, this is a snake, this is something else, I don't fucking know. It could be like uh I don't know, it could be a squirrel, I don't know. um uh so firstly, I'm gonna say that everybody else has like different summonings except for these four people or five people, because well, they're the most relevant in this what if. Naruto, Choji, Shikamaru, um Neji, and Shino. So firstly, Naruto would get a blank piece of paper, and basically Jiraiya would state that shed a little bit of blood. He like gives him a knife, and he would ask him to cut his hand, and he would show him the seals that he needs to do, which would be the rat, snake, and boar symbol, and he would say summoning jutsu, and whatever comes out would you know be a summoning. Naruto's like, actually, I want to go last. I don't want to. I want to see everybody else's summonings. So Choji, of course, being kind of well, he's kind of fat, so he would go first. Choji would do the boar, snake, and rat summoning, or hand signs, and he would summon an Akinida. Akinida? Akinida? I think some people, I know what you people know. I know you guys know what an Akinida is, I hope. Um, Shino would go next, and since his I guess you could say his thing, like his thing is all about bugs. So his summoning would be a hornet. An I don't know how to say this. An oriental hornet, which basically has electricity, and whoever it stings you with, it gives you like a shock of electricity, like a good, I don't know, 500,000 volts. It doesn't kill you, but it will hurt you. That's a summoning, and he can make like hundreds of these things. course, it's gonna take more chakra than his normal bugs, but it is still a very useful summoning. Um, the next person would be Shikamaru. Um, basically, he would do the hand signs, and he would summon what would be a snake and a turtle. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this. It's called the Black Warrior of the North. It's a turtle combined with a snake at the back. It's very powerful, in my opinion. Um, and of course, this would be like a smaller version of what would be uh the the actual thing, but this is just a summoning. This is just like a first time thing. And finally, uh, Naruto would go. Naruto would come up and he's like really freaked out. He's like really scared. He's like, what if I get a bad summoning? What if I get a squirrel or a snail or something bad? And he would be like really freaked out. And as he's freaking out, a little bit of the Kyuubi's chakra would seep through, as you know, emotions kind of. I would say Kurama noticing like an emotion, and he's kind of sleeping, so like he wouldn't really notice his chakra is seeping through, but he would just accidentally release a little bit of chakra, which would in turn go into Naruto, or go into Naruto's chakra veins, and would influence his blue chakra and red chakra would mix together. So he would basically do the rat, boar, and snake symbols. And he would say, summoning jutsu, as the surrounding place would go red. The clouds above would start disappearing or dispersing, as a white, one-tailed fox or wolf would appear. It's bigger than any wolf that's ever been seen before. It's basically like half the size of a fucking mountain or a hill. It's just as big as a hill, I should say. If not bigger. If not, it might be like half the size of a fucking mountain. As the fox would look over to where Naruto's were standing. Who dares summon me? He would say. Who dares summons me, Fenrir, destroyer of worlds? As they would basically howl. An ear piercing howl, as everybody would cover their ears. Naruto, not knowing what to do, would basically start walking up to it, trying to tame it, or something like of the likes. As Fenrir would start galloping over to where Naruto would be. And that's where I'm gonna leave it off. Yeah, this is like a 30-minute part. I wasn't planning on making something so long, but I mean, it is what it is. Hope you guys liked it. I haven't done this what if in a while. Yeah. Anyways, with all that said and done, go join my Discord server if you guys want to. I'm not fucking forcing anybody. It's gonna be the first link in the description. But yeah. See y'all later.